Stream this live. Oh, hey-o. All right. Welcome to the Tuesday night principal broadcast from DE and Band & Brothers. I'm your very tired MC, Dr. Brian Moriarty, joined by the amazing Emma.
Hello.
And
Patrick.
Oh, and Patrick. Patrick just had a playoff baseball game for Little League. And what happened, Patrick?
We won 13-2.
Crushed them 13-2. Patrick was very good, played a great game, scored a run, and they move on to the next round. So congratulations, Patrick. And Emma, what did you do over the weekend? Did you have your big musical theater performance?
It's called Showcase.
Yeah, and Emma.
Not big musical theater, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and Emma had several solos, and at 7 years old, she just took the stage and commanded that stage and belted them out. It was amazing. So, great job. Now you feel embarrassed. Okay, that's okay. Anyway, so that's what's going on with my kids, who are my life and my everything. And so we've got a DE call tonight, though. We've got an awesome speaker, somebody I can't wait to hear. But let's talk about some upcoming DEs, because we got our summer one coming up very soon there. There we go. Summer DE, July 16th to the 19th, Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. That one, room block still available. Fall, we're in late October in Atlanta, and then in Atlanta in January, a nice another snowy DE. So Atlanta for the next 3, go to lifede.com if you want to register, get your room, everything. We'll get registered. You want to be there for the summer one? That'll be a really fun one to go to. We got connect groups. There's your colors: orange, blue, yellow, purple. Connect with your team during DE, outside of DE. It's a great way to keep in touch. We're in the purple group, Emma, right? Go purple, yes. So there's your connect groups. So anyway, we've got an awesome speaker for tonight. Dr. Megan is truly an inspirational DE story. She's a 2014 graduate of Life University, but I always loved seeing her and her beautiful family at DE. She met her husband, Rando, at DE, and she's just an awesome person and a wonderful DE principled chiropractor. Has an awesome family practice in Greenville, South Carolina, which me and a couple of the DE guys were just there at Sherman for Lyceum, which was a great time over the weekend. But Megan is just an absolute sweetheart, and we're excited to hear her speak. So from Greenville, South Carolina, let's give it up for Dr. Megan Afshar Martins. Take it away, Megan. I love and appreciate you.
We're so fancy here at DE. We have all these graphics. And when I first started coming to DE, Drew Henderson ran the camera, and that was in, there would never be anybody at the soundboard. They'd be like, hey, can somebody turn that up? Can somebody? And oh my gosh, it was great. It was great. I loved it. I miss those days. I am not normally awake this late. I have listened to the DE calls for years. I've been on several times, and I thought they started at 8 o'clock, and I was ready at 8 o'clock, and had nothing, didn't have a link to get on, and then Tim Warner I was asking people, hey, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to get a link? Do I call? Do we still call a number and dial in numbers? What do we do? And Tim was like, yeah, you're about an hour early. And so I've just been sitting and waiting for this call. I am, I guess, old and tired because I have kids, and I can't imagine that something ever starts at 9 p.m. Oh my goodness. So bear with me. I hope I have something of value to bring this late at night. But Danny had asked me to do a little 1 minute what DE has given me. And really, as the years have gone by, I've just realized so much. And this is probably obvious to everybody but me because it took me so long. But DE has taught me how to love people. And the further I get away from the grind of like starting my practice, I'm 12 years into practice now, and the first two were really, really, really a lot of work. Probably the first five until I really felt like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing well. But 12 years in, so much of my mindset has shifted, and I'm realizing that as I transition kind of away from focusing so much on the numbers, the procedures, the this, the that, I do this, and really focusing on loving people and really focusing on taking good care of people, that the truth of that saying, where love and mastery come together, expect a miracle. And I feel like that's where I'm at in my office. And it's really an amazing place to be. So we started doing patient of the month highlights, and we've kind of scheduled out people like through the end of the year who are going to choose. And it's all people who've been with us 8-10 years for the first year that we've chosen. And we ask 3 questions, and we have them answer them, send us a picture of themselves or their family, whoever it is, and we highlight them in the office. And the 3 questions are: what initially brought you in to the office? Did you come with a specific complaint or whatever? What changes have you seen since being under care? And what keeps you coming back after all of these years? Because, like I said, a lot of these people have been with me 8 years plus, 10 years, 11 years. And one of the things that we've seen time and time again, and I love with that last question, is they comment on how they came into it thinking, I'm going to get chiropractic care. The majority of them have come in with a specific complaint. But they've stayed not because of that. They've stayed because this feels like a family to them. They've stayed because they never expected to feel so much love and care at their chiropractor's office. We've walked through losses of children with some of these people, cancer diagnoses, surgeries, all of these things. And these people lean on us. We're their chiropractor. I remember Dean Satilli saying years ago on one of these Tuesday night calls about like plumbers. Do plumbers meet 4 times a year to like refine themselves and work on how to love people better and how to maybe we don't know any plumbers like that, but what we do is so unique. We're not just another healthcare provider. We take this time 4 times a year to work on refining who we are and refining our message, not to like connive people into spending more money with us or re-signing their care plan or whatever. We're refining our message so that people understand what chiropractic is through the scope, the lens, the voice of, I love you as a person. Regardless if you stay, if you refer, if you can afford it, it doesn't matter. I love you as a person. And when that has kind of shifted to my foundation, I feel like it's really just transcended everything else. And like I said, I've been doing well, but that's really just kind of shifted and changed a lot for me. In 2022, I was invited to speak at the ICPA gathering in DC, and Justin Ohm was on the phone with me and said, I want you to speak at what you're best at. What's your specialty in your office? And I felt so overwhelmed, just even on the phone, because if he had said, I want you to speak on X, Y, or Z, I could formulate a talk, but to just say, what's your specialty? What are you the best at? Knowing that so much of what I've learned technique wise, even like education wise, I've learned from people who are going to be sitting in that room, and to stand up there and kind of promote something as if it's my own, or like, this is my specialty. No, it's not. I literally got it from, I just noticed that there's a hookah in the back here. Oh my gosh. We're living with my parents because we're renovating our house right now. We're doing a massive renovation on our house. And my Iranian dad has a hookah in the back. Sorry, that caught me off guard. I was saying, yes, I just felt intimidated to share what that was. And Justin said, Megan, I don't know what you have to share, but I know you're supposed to be on that stage. And I know you have something to bring. So you just have to find out what it is. And I realized before I was even off the call that it was love. It was the way I love people in the office. And then I just had to find a way to explain it and talk about it on stage. And working on that talk was so intimidating for me, but it really solidified and helped me to articulate exactly what it is that I'm doing in my office day in and day out. And it's where love and mastery come together. Expect a miracle. That's what I'm doing in my office day in and day out. One of the stories that I had shared was about this little girl. Her name's Willow, and she came into the office super sick, super feverish. And her family, they haven't been patients of the month yet, but they're on our list. I've been taking care of them forever. This story happened like 7 years ago. And she was just so feverish, like really red cheeks, rosy lips, and her mom was carrying her in. She's like, oh, she's just been feverish for days. She hasn't been feeling well. She's just kind of like on and off. But I just figured getting her adjusted could probably help. So I picked her up and I just kind of like held her for a little bit. And I swayed with her. I hummed a song over her. I put her down, checked her, adjusted her atlas, picked her up again, and just snuggled her, just held her. And she kind of sighed, and then she sneezed really loud and bright green snot all over my shirt, and then jumped up out of my arms and ran and went to go play with her other siblings. And her mom was like awestruck, like, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I think her fever just broke though. And that's it, right? Like, is it my adjustment? Yes, probably. Is it the fact that I approached it with love? Is it God going before me and using my hands? Yes. All of it, like pieces of it, I don't know. But like I said, working on that talk just kind of articulated that for me, that I'm bringing love into my office. I'm bringing all of my knowledge and all of my expertise and all of my training. And what I expect is that God is going to move in miraculous ways in my office. And he does every single time. And the testimonials, you guys have them in your offices too, but it's just amazing. But then also to see, hey, you guys have been patients in the office here for 10 years. Why? Because you came in because of your son's ear infections 10 years ago. He hasn't had an ear infection in 10 years, 9 years, 11 months, and 15 days. Like he's great. And it's like, oh yeah, because we're family. You guys are our family. You guys brought us meals after we had our babies. You guys were with us in the hospital. When we got this diagnosis, you brought us coffee. That's how we treat the people in our office. If somebody's in the hospital, hey, I'm sending you food right now. I'm sending you breakfast. Let me bring you a coffee. I'm 10 minutes away. Let me go pick up a coffee for you. Because these are our people, and they feel it. So, like I said, my mindset has just shifted over time from numbers and patient visit averages and all of that stuff. Not that any of that stuff is bad. All of that stuff is good, and it has a season and it has a place for it. But it's really shifted now to how can I just love these people really well? How can I get as many internal referrals as possible? How can I remember a way saying this one time, like one person, how can I turn them into 4 because they're now sending their family and then they're sending their extended family and we're taking care of multi-generations in our office. That's my strategy right now. And we make a ton of money. And I run a really lean business. I have a really low overhead. I have 2 other staff members. And we just rock it in the office and just keep everything really low, serve a ton of people, charge a fair price that I feel comfortable telling people about. And yeah, and it's great. I recently, my CA was like, our website just looks bad. And I don't care. I don't care about that stuff at all because nobody's finding us because of our website. Nobody's like, oh, this is a good website. Ooh, I want to see this person. And if they do, they're not my target. Like I said, internal referrals. If you've been referred from Jan, you're my target person. If you found me on Google, you're not my target person. That's just how it is. And so I don't care. I don't care what our website looks like. And she's like, it just looks bad. And I said, fine. You don't like it. I don't care, but let's have it worked on. So I went on Jill Cherry's website, submitted a request for meeting. We're going to meet this Friday. And she asks a ton of questions in the intake just to kind of help her with the call that we're going to have. That's what we do with our paperwork, right? Ask a ton of questions. She asked a lot of questions that I don't even have answers for. I'm sure I did at one point, but like, what's your, how many new patients are you seeing a month? What's your conversion rate? What's your whatever? My accountant sends me numbers of things. She sends me spreadsheets of like, okay, you saw this many people this month. You had this many new patients, you blah, blah, blah. She has like a bunch of numbers for me. I don't pay attention to any of it anymore because that's not my focus. We're seeing more and more people on a regular basis. We have new patients coming in regularly. The 95% of our patients are referred from somebody who's already in the office. So I'm happy. And then there's money and more money and more money. And it's great. So I'm not caught up in those things anymore. One of the questions was, how much do you spend for each new patient? And I was like, in terms of if my associate sees them, how much to keep the lights on? Like marketing, like to zero. I've never spent $1 other than like lunch and learns and things like that. I've never done any online advertising or marketing or anything like that because that's not what I want. I get these emails and it's like, we'll send you 70 new patients each month. How many of those people are staying to the next month? You know how much effort, especially in my office, we do CBCT images. They take a really long time for me to mark because I'm really meticulous with them. I don't want 70 new patients in a month. That's at least 35 hours, if not more, of me marking images. I don't want that. 70 new patients every single month because that means that I have a leaky bucket and they're immediately going away. If I'm getting 70 new patients and they're staying, that's one thing. I'll work forever, but I'm not going to do that to just then have to do 70 new patients the next month and 70 new patients the next month and 70 new patients the next month to just kind of maintain what? To maintain what? When people find us because their sister sees us, their coworker sees us, their whoever, we already know, man, you're going to be great in this office. I will tell you one difference though, because we're upper cervical, we have people who have sought out upper cervical care who then they go on our website. They don't care what it looks like. They find the testimonial page. They find what we're about. They find how we adjust. And they're like, I don't care what your color scheme is on your website. You're my person. I'm coming to you. We've had that a lot of times. So they can find me on Google if that's how they found me and what they found me for. They are the most researched, the most educated. I have to educate very little these people who know I'm here for upper cervical specific care. Awesome. That's what we do, and we do it really well. And you're going to get this lovely team of people who's going to love you and take care of you so well. If you're anything like me, you hear somebody sharing like this and you're like, well, that's different. I don't have that kind of office, or I'm just a student. I'm not there yet, or, I'm just starting. So I'm not saying it's bad to focus on those numbers. What I am saying is we need to be loving people really well in whatever sphere of influence you're in. You don't have to be the doctor. You could be the CA. You don't even have to be in practice. You could be a student. You could be a retired doc. We all have spheres of influence. It can be our workplace, our home, the receptionist at the dentist's office that you go to, the person bagging your groceries. What if every time we walked out in public or in our offices, we put on God's smile for every single person who we're encountering, and we get to just interact with them with that? What if the next time we were standing in line at the coffee shop, we put our phone down and we focused on the person next to us, also waiting for their coffee, and started a conversation with them? Like, so simple. We have these interactions and these ability every single day, constantly. A couple months ago, I had a really, really weird, hard day at work. We had a parent bringing her son in, mom and dad, because the son was dealing with ear infections and she wanted to avoid getting tubes. Thing is, she didn't have custody of her child, and DSS was saying she had to get tubes put in. And the ENT and pediatrician and everybody's like, got to get tubes. Baby was under care with grandma. And I've never had DSS in my office. I've never interacted a lot with DSS. It was such a weird experience. This child who doesn't live with his parents, now mom and dad are in the office, and he's just freaking out, just freaking out. DSS is there. There's 3 people, mom, dad, child, and then 3 random adults. We're like, who are you guys? What are you? They're all taking notes. They're just watching. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Taking notes. And I'm like, what is happening? This actually all happened to my associate with the intake. So next visit, he comes in and I'm just like ready, like guarded up to, I'm talking to DSS. I'm doing all the things. I'm educating. They're like, okay, well, how many visits until he's going to be treated from his ear infections? And I'm like, that's not what we do here. And I'm trying to educate DSS. They don't care. Baby's screaming bloody murder the whole time. He only wants to be with his parents. He doesn't want anybody else touching him. It was wild. It was a wild time. So anyways, it had been a really long day. We finish. Mom and dad, side note, totally high. They got their kid taken away because of drug use and things like that. They come in the office high, smelling of weed. Our whole office smells like weed. It's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And DSS is just like, what are you doing right now? Well, what's your treatment plan? Well, what? And like, what is happening? All of that to say, it was a hard day. Don't really have a lot of days like that in my office. Got done. And I decided to go get ice cream before going home because I'm an adult and I can have ice cream for dinner if I want to, and I wanted to. So I go into this ice cream shop and I'm the only person in the ice cream shop. And this girl's reading a book. And so we just start talking about her book and about reading. And I love read. I'm an avid reader. So we're just talking about books. And we probably talk for 5 minutes before I decide what kind of ice cream I want. Um, she gives me my ice cream. I pay. I'm leaving. And as I'm leaving, I'm walking out the door and she said, "Hey, thanks for being so nice to me." And it just caught me off guard. Like, I just interacted with you like you were a normal human being in front of me who I'm going to interact with right now. And I was like, yeah, thanks so much for being so easy to talk to. Have a great night. God loves you. And like, we have these so many opportunities daily just to interact with people in this way. We have hundreds of opportunities each week in our office where we get to interact with these people and just kind of like look directly at them. Tell them, "Hey, you are loved. You're worth it. You're valued." I went and I got acupuncture today. And when I'm done at this place, they give you a foot massage. It's like community acupuncture. We're all in these like recliners and we're all together in a room and it's really quiet. It's awesome. And so I'm done, and this woman, she takes the needles out and gives a little foot massage. And I was just talking to her just about her life. "Hey, are you from Greenville? Hey, oh, you're from Florida. What brought you here? Oh, you lived in Peru for a while. What were you doing in Peru?" And then she was talking about COVID and how it was such a blessing. Oh, shoot, she lives near my office. And she was asking how long I'd been in that space. And I said, well, I moved in 6 years ago. And day one in my new building was when shelter in place went into effect for all of America. But it was awesome. I mean, nothing changed. People kept coming in. People saw this as their safe place. People who were afraid of the world. We had a patient who left her office once every 14 days because the theory was you could be contagious and have zero symptoms and still infect somebody and kill them for 14 days, right? So she would leave her house once every 14 days. She would write down in her planner where she went. She would write down in her planner every single person she interacted with for contact tracing. You want to know where she came once a month? My office. She left her house 2 times a month. In one of those times, she came to my office. You want to talk about the epitome of fear. She was like, I'm going to die leaving, or I'm going to kill somebody if I leave. And she still came to my office. And I'll wear 14 masks if you want me to, if it makes you feel more comfortable. If you are honoring me by coming to my office, I will do anything I can to make you feel more comfortable. South Carolina was a very flexible state. Our governor was amazing through it. And he was like, basically, you're all adults. Do what you think is best for you and your family and your community. And so I got to work. I got to do everything. I didn't have to wear a mask. Stores and stuff like that got to say if you wear a mask or don't. I was not forced to wear a mask ever. So I know some of you guys were never maskers, and that's because probably you were in a state that was like really, really, really strict. We didn't have that. My state was like, do whatever you want to. So because of that, I never wore a mask unless somebody came into my office and wanted one. If they had a mask on, I said, would you feel more comfortable if I put a mask on? I'd love to put a mask on for you. And I would just put it on. Unless they were like, no, I don't really care. I just kind of have a cough and I want to make sure, whatever. I would jump to put a mask on for people because that was my way in that time of showing them I love you and I care for you. So, anywho, I shared that with this woman, and she was sharing how she got her dog like 3 weeks before all the COVID shutdowns and everything. And I feel like they ended up putting a lot of dogs down during COVID because they couldn't like move the dog. I don't really know. She was really happy, and she said the dog knows I saved its life, and I just asked her about her dog's name. Whatever. It was like 5-minute conversation. Get done, and I'm leaving. This woman has taken needles out and given me a foot rub many times. Today, she was like, "Hey, can I have a hug?" Yeah, let's hug. And it was just so sweet. And when we hugged, she did what Forelli would always do. She, I want to hug this way. She went in this way, and she was like, no, heart to heart. Let's hug heart to heart. And it just kind of like sparked that. Like, yeah, I learned this at DE. I learned how to love people at DE. We have these simple interactions that we're all granted every single day. Interactions that we get to inject love into. And I just want to encourage you guys, take that into your office every single day. I'm sure a lot of you already are. I know a lot of you are because I've learned it from you guys. I just might be articulating it differently than what you've heard. I hope something's landing with you guys. There's this book that I've read. I've read it twice this year. Oh my goodness. If you guys have not read it, you have to read it. You want to talk about somebody who lives a life of love. It's called Theo of Golden. It's phenomenal. So I'm going to read this quote, and yeah, then I'm going to be done. But for anything to be good, truly good, there must be love in it. Whether it is art, sculpture, farming, teaching, lawmaking, medicine, music, or raising a child, if love is not in it, at the very heart of it, it might be skillful, marketable, or popular, but I doubt it is truly good. Nothing is what it's supposed to be if love is not at the core. And that includes chiropractic, guys. I truly believe that how we love people is going to save the world. And that's all I have. Brian.
Great job, Megan. Yes, you landed a lot of stuff there. That was awesome. Thank you so much for doing the call tonight.
Thank you.
And that's a really cool hookah. I'm not a big hookah smoker or whatever you do with that, but that's really cool back there. Maybe you could demonstrate how it works.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you smoke. Yeah. It's like Alice in Wonderland, right?
Wow, that is awesome. That's what they do in Iran, huh? Okay.
That's what they do. What?
In Iran? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was an awesome call. Thank you so much for taking the time and staying up late with us. It's way past my bedtime. So, and good luck living with your. Is that your parents you're living with?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's got to be fun. But think how great the remodel is going to be when that house is beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's very close to being done. Like a month and a half. Yeah, we're really excited.
Awesome. So anyway, thank you so much for being on the call. Thank you everybody for joining us for the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
On the 9 o'clock, 9 p.m.
9
late.
Yes. Have a good night. Thanks, Megan.
Bye.